Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at Cubasis 3 and specifically making 4-bar loops. Okay, so we're going to start by creating a 4-bar loop here, and this is the template kind of thing that we're going to use. We're going to use 4-bar loops to create just some interesting stuff. This can help break writer's block. It's great for playing with new apps that you might have bought, effects and stuff like that. And you can actually come up with some interesting stuff that you could then expand into a full song. So I've got a completely blank Cubasis project here, you see, with just the default acoustic piano sound. I have no real clue what I'm doing here, okay? So like most of my stuff, this kind of starts off as improvised. I think I'm going to start with a lo-fi piano. We'll go with a Nick preset, and I'll have a play with the reverb and stuff. So I like the Mansion one at the moment. I'm well into that. Here we go. And yeah, that'll do it. So... and I'm going to try and I will stick with the built-in instruments in Cubasis. So obviously some of them are IAPs. So my favorite key is A minor. So I'm just going to start with, I'm not going to quantize anything just yet. Okay, so I'm going to start with just this A minor. And maybe go to G minor. So A minor to G minor, and I'm going to engage the metronome just to give me some time, but I'm not going to use quantized records. Sometimes I think it makes it just sound just too mechanical, especially if it's a piano. You might as well try and play it, and it'll make you better. That's too fast, right? So let's slow this down, shall we? Maybe 110. I'm even going to go slower than that. So I'm going to go to, I think, 90 BPM. Yeah, let's do that. 90 BPM and stop, rewind. Okay. Bit sloppy, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to quantize it, and a bit low on the velocity on one of these, I think. Let me have a look at velocity here. This might sound better. Okay, that'll do. Right, so I don't want an audio track in this, so I'm going to add in another instrument. Let's see. I'm just going to go with something from Hallion. I don't know. Definitely doesn't fit. It's better. Turn this down in the mixer a little bit. I want to make this a little bit louder. want more reverb on than that, so I'm going to go and add in a reverb. Let's go with Roomworks. Epic. Okay, I'm going to just jump in. Okay. Let's add in a bass. Oh, what's this? No. This was nice. I don't think it needs. Okay, let's do that. So I mean, this is naff, but you know, you're actually creating something. This is the point, you know. Let's add in another MIDI track, and let's go with Iconica Sketch if I can find it here. Where are we at here? No instrument. There we go. And strings and maybe violins. Yeah, that's quite nice. Let's record that in. This one, let's try quantizing these. You'll probably see these move now. That sounds crap quantized. Let's undo that. Now, of course, you could always save this. And a 4-bar loop, by the way, doesn't need to just be four tracks. You can have as many tracks as you like. It doesn't matter. Let's start with a fresh one because that was absolutely chronic, I thought. So we'll just go in and add a MIDI track. I will go straight to Hallion and let's see what we can do with some, what's this? There's some cool stuff in here. Just like some cool rhythms and things. Come in. Actually, there's some cool stuff in Neo FM, might be. Let's see, drums and percussion. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, what's this? Yeah, let's do something with that. Let's speed it up, because that's really slow now. Let's just record that. Super. See what that sounds like when it comes back round. Okay. I'll put a limiter on here. Beans. Let's duplicate that, but just ditch the MIDI, erase, and change the sound. Let's go and find a cool sound. What's this? Oh, I wonder what that sound like with that. Let's see. Because this is one MIDI note, we're going to have to start again. So. Yeah, that works. So what would be a good idea now would be just to freeze this audio. But since we're only working with a four-bar loop, it doesn't really matter. Let's just duplicate that, shall we? Get rid of this MIDI and go and find something to jam over the top with that. What's this? That's so cool. That's another sequence. Let's do it higher up. And let's just set it off. sound cool. Let's put some sort of crazy lead thing over the top of that. But you see, you're getting the point now. This is, you don't know where you're going to start, but at least you're starting something, you know, and it might never end up as a track, but really, it doesn't matter. We can just duplicate that, get rid of this MIDI. It doesn't matter whether it ends up as a finished product or not. It doesn't matter, as long as you're enjoying yourself. Some cool sequences. That's awesome. Right, let's do that. Let's, of course, I'm going to switch the and control the volume a bit. Right, let's try that, shall we? I'll just have a jam with it. No, that was bad. Let's try that again. Better. That's okay. Okay, so yeah, let's stitch that one and do another. And this is, I mean, you can obviously, if you come up with something that you like, you can just, you know, you can save it and do what you want with it. Let's do something real quick. But the point is trying to create stuff as quickly as possible and just play around with stuff, you know. Don't, the worst thing you can do, what's this synth brass? The worst thing you can do is sit there and procrastinate about what you're going to do. The most important thing is to do something, you know. Let's see. Let's put a drum loop in, shall we, just to give us some inspiration. So I'll go to audio, and I'll go into my samples, because I have tons of stuff from Dean. What we going? Zenfi loaf funky boy beats, yeah. 100 BPM. Let's do this, although we can, of course, time stretch in Cubasis. Let's just set this to the right BPM so we're not messing around. Right, okay, 100 BPM, and let's have a quick... Awesome, that'll do. Right, let's drag this into an audio track. So long hold and drop it there. And it's a 4-bar loop already. Let's go back to our kind of brassy synth, and so wrong sound for that kit, of course. So let's go and find something a bit better. You get the idea. See, the beat, the rhythms now kind of dictating the vibe. Focus back on that. Let's just record something in. Again, I'm going to leave all this unquantized. Let's add in a MIDI track. And let's have some sort of, see if we can find some sort of bass sequence. That's quite. It's quite a nice bass sound. Let's see. So all I did there, all I did was, this is just this brass here, this is just this A minor, and then an A minor, A sus4, it's A sus2, A sus2 I think. So that's all I did. And then the bass, all I did was play A, C, and E, which is the note in the A minor triad. So it just all fits, you know. That sounds quite good. Yeah, let's see, what can we do next? Let's add on the MIDI track. And I mean, this stuff, you'd never, as it is, you could, I mean, it's good. You could save the loop as a WAV file and then chop it up in things like loop mix and stuff, you know, and all sorts of other cool stuff. You can actually do whatever you like. What's this musical effect? I like musical effects, me. Okay, let's do that. I'll worry about the volumes after I've done it. Mess that up, hang on. Let's get rid of it. Something else. So we've got our stabby blasting. I'll show you another useful thing you can do once you've created your 4-bar loop in a sec. That's quite a cool sound, isn't it? But I want some sort of pad sound. I think some sort of juicy kind of super pad. Let's see what we've got going on. Synth pad. Let's see. Quite nice. That's gonna be, what's this? Nope. I don't want it to be too. Nah. So far, this analog pad. Yeah, that'll do, because that's nice and kind of subdued, you know. I think I'm just gonna stick with what did I say it was? See, so let me just get rid of that a second. Yeah, I'll just play that. Just and I'll play it as open chord like that, and let's just run that. Okay, so far this is the best loop, in my opinion, that I've done. So I could actually build on this. This is good. So I'm going to add in another one now. So add in a MIDI track, and this time I want some sort of drum loopy type of percussion stuff. Now I know that in, I think, Neo FM there are some cool drum loops and stuff, so but no, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to add in, let's get rid of this. I'll delete that one because I don't want it. I'm going to add in another audio track. I'm going to see if I can find some percussion, actually. So, no, MIDI, drum loops, and see if we've got some. I think there's some percussion stuff down here. Actually, I think it's kind of all over the place. Let's see. Where we go. We've got some percussion. Percussion construct. What's this? Let's see if we can. Let me see. There'll be a cut here while I try and find some suitable percussion in here. Okay, so I found this one. It says metronome percussion, and I'm going to drag that in just to see if it fits, because it just might not fit, you know. In which case, you're kind of getting out of the flow, you know. So I'll just solo this with this. Let's get it so we can actually hear it. So let's make some adjustments. Where are we in our inserts? So definitely. I'm on the wrong track here, so hang on a minute. No, right track. Let's add a bit of tape drive, tube, no tape. Okay. Right, so when you've got your what you're happy with, I mean, you can go on and on. What am I gone here? Let me just do this, get it all kind of organized so I can see what I'm doing. The thing we're going to do now is kind of arrange this into some sort of order. So you've built your loops up, you've messed around. Like I said, you know, you'll have tons and tons of failures. Like I did, the first few you pick might be crap. They might be brilliant. You might hit on something that's really good. But now you've got something that at least you could work on. So for example, we could just start. So let's just select all of this stuff, right? I'll do it properly. I haven't selected that one. Let me do it again. So drag up and make sure everything is selected. And now here's the thing. What we can do is, because we've selected all this, we can just pick up one of them and we can duplicate all this stuff. See, now we've got it. Let's like do it at least 4 long. In fact, let's go a little bit further. And I'll do, I think, and I'll just duplicate that one because it didn't. This is all the same. So we can start to take stuff out of this now. So for example, just let's say because we've got all our loops and they've all been spread out over the course of how many bars your song might be. Okay, so let us just switch select on now, and I'm going to choose this, this analog pad and this, and I'm just going to erase those. So our little track, I'm going to set me snap to bars as well so it's easier. So our little track just will start like this now, just with bass and percussion. So okay, that sounds okay. So then we can, let's set this up to the end as well. So now we can start to add bits back in. So we won't add the brass in there. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this one as well. We'll bring in our analog pad, but not the drums. In this fourth section here, we'll bring in the drums, but not this and not this. So we'll erase those. Don't forget we're on select still. So, and then on this fourth one, we'll bring in the brass, but not this. So we'll just ditch that. We'll erase that. And then from this point here, we could start to do the same thing again, or we can record stuff in over the top of the whole thing then. But now the point is, from a 4-bar loop, you've got yourself something that's something you can work with, and it's doable, and then you could save it and come back to it some other time. Let's just see how that sounds as a complete thing, shall we? By the way, if you've watched this via Premiere, thank you very, very, very much indeed. I'll have this loop as well. If you've watched this via Premiere, thank you very much as well. Of course, please strike the like, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a patron, all that other cool stuff you can do to help support us here at the Sound Test Room. And yeah, I will see you later. I'll just play this loop around a couple of times. I might extend it a little bit as well when it's round once, just after we've heard kind of how it sounds. In fact, I could do that now, couldn't I? I'm going to select this, that. And again, I'm just going to extend those to there. And actually, I'm going to extend it one more time as well. Like there. Super. And then what you can do is start to drop stuff out as well. So it kind of goes back to its original thing. But let's just listen to it as it is now. And while you're saying to each other, I'll have a play around with it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped. I don't know. This is what I like doing. Saves me time. Of course, I like progressive rock, so I can just make a bunch of these and stick them together and don't have to make any sense. All right. See you later. Ta-ra.